welcome back to the True Tea NYC. I am your host for the day, moderator. My name is Alyssa Pariah. I am an activist, and I'm here with two fabulous fucking women. Ashley Breed.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm here.
Jada Revlon. So, yeah, we have some interesting topics. Some of them were sent in. So, yes, they're problematic. I just want to be clear.
Are you here for the shit?
They're here for the shit.
This is the problematic episode.
Okay.
Wait, no, shout out to Kelly. She was featured on New Jersey's newscast for hashtag here for the shit. Congratulations, Kelly. Great job. We see you, sister. We love you.
So talk about who is Kelly? Give the context.
Kelly Harrison is a ballroom personality. She has a talk show on the radio, and she also has been in the ballroom scene for many years. And she has been an activist. She has been a part of Progress, and she's also been there for the down parts. You know what I'm saying? She's been there for the majority of my history, and she's been there for most of my history. But she's a really big influential factor in the ballroom scene. So kudos to Kelly. We support you, sister.
Boom, love it. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Like, lift each other up.
Encourage and support. Yes.
Oh my God. I mean, if you have bad things to say, you talk about the issue, right?
Yes.
If you have good things to say, talk about the person. You know.
Yes.
Okay, I like it. So yeah. So that lifted the girls up. Now we're gonna talk about being, and I'm gonna put this in quotes, being a hopeless hoe. And the girls being desperate for love and settling for less. So there's a lot there. And it's not pretty, but if it's True Tea NYC, then we better talk about the True Tea NYC.
I know.
Right? Okay.
Have you been a hopeless hoe before?
Me? Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
The best of us.
Yeah, I've sat back and allowed some things to go on that today me would never, I wouldn't even look that way. Because I was just like, I wanted that acceptance. I was missing the void of a man figure in my life. And fortunately, which is something else that comes great from the ballroom scene, is that I have parents, and I have two fathers that are mainly in my life, that are constantly on my line every day, all day. I do have other father figures, but these two are always on my ass. They're really encouraging and supportive, and they feel that void of love and acceptance from a man, from a father figure. They've shown me how a man treats a woman and respects a woman. They've shown me how a woman, how I should respect myself, and they're also helping me to grow, and I'm really, really, really grateful of that. Thank you. Shout out to you guys, dads.
What are their names?
Buggy and Buffy.
Boom. Okay.
So talk about the whole phase.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, if that's what she wants to say, I wasn't gonna push.
Well, no.
Okay.
You're supposed to stir it up.
Okay, well.
You're in the middle, girl. You're supposed to.
Oh God.
This is your job.
Okay, that's hard for me. That actually, it is. It's hard for me. I only want to stir it up for the capitalists.
Well, look at your sweater. Your sweater makes a statement.
Yeah, I'm a member of Socialist Alternative.
Okay.
We're the United States section of the Committee for Workers International.
All right.
Yeah, fighting for a working class revolution from below. The working class of the world should unite and overthrow their rulers.
Yes, I love that.
Okay.
I love that.
Okay.
Socialist Alternative.
Yeah, join us.
Join us.
After this, I'm gonna recruit both of y'all. You don't even know. Okay, no. Okay, I'm trying to be a good organizer. Okay,
I'm with it.
All right, but now you gotta finish talking about being a hopeless hoe.
So,
okay.
There was situations where I knew the guy had a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or you know what I'm saying, and I just anything to feel that love. Or I knew that they would talk to, or they were previously talking to one of my girlfriends, not knowing how deceitful or how hurtful, that might be, or that is, because I had the experience where, I've had a guy and, that's how it started. My first boyfriend ever, someone very near and dear to me, had sex with him. And that was we were official, we were moved in together, and that was someone someone that I looked up to, that I idolized, that she would dare step into that boundary, and that was okay, well, if she did this, then fuck all y'all hoes. I can do what I want to do. So I went through it wasn't even that long. It was a couple months of just fucking sucking, skeeting, and squirting, trying to find out what I like and what's for me as a woman. You know, because coming into womanhood, you have to find out what you like, what's comfortable for you, how you like to be treated. You know what I'm saying? I like to be choked out sometimes.
Okay. Oh, I know that's right.
Tied down sometimes. Okay. I had to learn that.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for my whole phase. So I never would have found that out without that. But
yeah, you would have.
Congratulations.
Yeah, sex is liberating.
It's an achievement.
Awesome.
Oh, it's life.
Sex is awesome.
I'm having sex after this.
I wish.
I know that's right. Lucky you.
Lucky
Okay.
you.
Okay.
That's a good plan. I think I'm gonna try to get some too.
Okay, bless.
We real jolly over here. It's good. I ain't had none of them yet.
Okay. Okay.
But
I'll introduce your system. Okay. Okay. All right.
So,
but now you go.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
A whole phase. Desperation.
Oh my God.
Settling
I used
for less.
to. Well, now I'm so picky. Like, you have to do everything. Like, I used to just, you know how like when we first start out, the train wants to get their dick sucked, we'll just do it because we feel like, oh, he's a man, he's straight, or you know, it's like we just let him fucking just suck his dick and he comes in our mouth and then he just walks off and we just sit there and not all of us, I guess. You're judging me.
No, I'm not.
You're judging me.
I am not. I'm listening.
No, that's the same face she had when I was telling my story.
She judged you too?
Oh, she wasn't judging. She was.
No, I'm in.
She has the look of shock.
No, she was really interested.
It's interest. I care about you. I want to know your life. I don't know
violent. You're judging me. You're being problematic.
Okay.
I feel triggered.
Okay. Is this Tumblr? Okay. Okay, no, okay.
No, seriously.
Okay,
So,
yes.
you know, there was a phase, you know, when I first started dressing up where to get the boys, it was just like, it was just a kiki. It was fun, right? Then you start to get into your transition and you want more. You start to expect more and you want respect and you're not going to just let a nigga just fucking come in your mouth and walk off.
Right.
Now you want respect. You want to know, like, you know, what are you going to do for
now
me?
You want respect.
What am I getting? Yeah, now you want respect because you start to realize your worth. And there was times where, you know, you start out, that's why I said people, when they transition, they first start, sometimes, well, I always say, do not transition because you want dick. Because they will give the dick to anyone, anything. So do not transition because you think that you're going to get into a relationship and be happily ever after, because that's a fairy tale. Yeah. But yeah, I have my little phase, you know, now I'm just real picky. Like a guy, my DMs is crazy. They're unread over unread messages. Like, and guys threaten me when I don't respond. Do you get that too?
I hate that. I swear I hate that.
I get that all the time.
I've been called all types of mans, trannies, this, that, and
when you don't respond.
When I don't respond, or when or if they're like a friend, not like a friend, but like somebody I know, like from the ballroom scene, and I say, okay, well, I think you're an awesome
Wait, so
person.
guys, Butch Queens from the ballroom scene?
Not necessarily Butch Queens, it'd be like kind of like chasers, I want to say.
Okay.
Wait, and they're in the ballroom scene?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. We'll come back to that because that's important.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna get into Butch Queen, Femme Queen Love.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk
and we'll talk
about
about chasers and
Butch Queen
and the
Femme Queen
Venn
Love.
diagram between them. So, but no, I want you to finish your point, and then we'll talk. Because I think it's real. It's true to me. We'll talk about it. So, so you talked about what you used to do, right? How you've moved through it. I think that for younger girl or just anybody who is not quite where you're at, talk about how you managed to do it. I think it's very important. Lay out the plan.
So I just realized that I'm worth more than someone getting their nut. Now I want my nut. I feel like you have to know what are you getting out of it? What am I getting out of it?
Yeah.
It's not all about them. Now it's about me, and that's how it should be. It's your body. Okay. You shouldn't. Get something out of it. Like T.S. Madison said, suck a dick and get money. Like, step your pussy up. You have to require more from these dudes because at the end of the day, they're going back to their wives or their boyfriends or whatever. So you have to get something out of it.
Okay.
But yeah.
I hear that. Okay. Well, I feel like just as a buffer to both of those comments and the question that came up, period, is that if there are people who are how can I put, selfless bottoms, right? Like I think that one of the themes that I heard with both of you and something that speaks to my experience is coming out of that like maybe that's how we began, sort of like from a place of like sexual selflessness and sort of making ourselves available, particularly in terms of like sucking cock and getting fucked, right? Like that's real. And like that being like a first experience or go at it with sex and sexuality, and that it sounds like all three of us have actually come out of that and like are more demanding.
I didn't know you were in it. Let's talk about your whole thing.
Okay, I will. No, I'm not avoiding. I'm giving a buffer because if there are people who sort of consciously are very sexually selfless, that are like, you know, total bottoms in that way. Maybe they frankly want to be used. Maybe they're like subs in BDSM or things like that. Like, I think it's important to note that like what we are not saying is that there's something fundamentally wrong with you and you're immature in X ways.
Right, because there are people that are still older in our ages that are still
well, when I was doing that,
so like I didn't want to shame that at all, or sort of like establish a hierarchy in that like that kind of sexuality is here and our sexuality has moved and with all right. Okay,
if anyone who likes to be, you know,
slut shamed,
dominated, you know,
treated like shit, spat on.
It's out there.
Look, some of them, I mean,
some people get off on that.
Yeah,
but I don't like that. Okay, I mean, a little rough, but not. Don't treat me like fucking shit, because we deal with that enough, like in society, to then want that.
Okay.
But let's talk about whole life.
Yeah. Okay. So like I sort of hinted at, I sort of came from a similar like origin in my sexuality, where the first men that I was dating, or like or not dating, like let's be honest, like the first ones that were fucking me were doing exactly that, and it was absolutely on their terms, and my self-esteem at the time was low enough that I would accept that and feel like I want to experience sexual pleasure, and if this is how it is, well then this is how it is. And at the time I did not necessarily connect that to value and worth, right? So since moving on and becoming older, and I'm 30 years old. Oh my god, I'm fucking 30 years old.
Young.
So oh, thank you. Yeah, okay.
I'm approaching, so I'm telling her that you don't have to play the old card yet. I don't like when you say I'm old or I'm getting older.
Okay.
I'm still young.
I feel like being 24 is a curse. Like 30 is those years that you're just like comfortable in you. Your body's in its prime of sexiness, like sexual awakening, and you're like responsible, and you're like, you know, most of like the 30-year-olds and like the older people that I know, they're together by that time, and that's where I want to be. I want to be older and together. I'm together now, but I want to be like
more
fully.
Okay, I'll be so proud of you. Yeah. So I've moved on in my sexuality, where like, to be frank, and we should be frank, like true tea, like I still am 100% bottom. Like I don't want somebody to ask me to put it in. I would just say no thank you. I would not bottom shame them, and I would, you know, that's just not what I'm here for. But I am much more assertive in terms of what is it that I want, and when do I want it, and on what terms, and how do I expect to be treated, and my tolerance for just how much bullshit. Okay, thank you. Yeah, my tolerance for that bullshit. Oh my god, listen to me talking in all these soft ass terms. I'm sorry. I'm in the social justice discourse, so I know how to.
We can tell.
I'm sorry. I don't want to offend people.
Wait a minute.
Let's add a little realism to people who may not understand some of the words.
Okay, so I'm gonna get real. So motherfuckers wanted to fuck me back in the day, however they wanted to, whenever they wanted to, and then I told them, okay, that's fucking over. You're gonna fuck me when I want you to and how I want you to.
Right.
And that's the truth. Okay, no more bullshit.
That's
okay.
the truth.
All right, are you satisfied?
I have a nip slip. Can you cut that out?
Oh, when? What was it saying?
You were saying something.
I don't think no one's seen it. Where?
It was like, woof.
The nipple? You think we saw the nipple? You want to check it before we go? So I know what part to go back to?
No, we're good.
Okay. Alright, so
sorry, I was falling
so do we want to talk about the Butch Queen Femme Queen thing?
Yeah, I think she might have things to say about the Butch Queen Femme Queen.
Do you want to do that? It's not on the list.
Well, we can do. I like the Butch Queen Femme Queen love because it's something that's happening a lot.
Okay.
It is, and I'm here for it.
Okay.
I kind of agree with it. I see a lot of of these like younger trans women or trans women around my age that are finding these butch queens that praise them like goddesses, and they are able to accept some things that the butch queen might do, and that's fine. We when thinking about a relationship, there are sides of people that we have to just adjust to.
Wait, hold on. I actually know people who are offended by the word butch queen.
Really?
Like, yeah, I've known a few people who get upset.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying no. This is true too. This is how we speak.
Yeah.
But the same way some of us are offended by tranny, but we still use it. But I use the word butch queen because it's part of the lingo. It's part of the culture.
Yeah.
But like you said, yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I made a mental note.
You know what the funny part is? I don't even take like offense when people say tranny, but when they say tranny in a derogatory term, then I have, like,
how they use it.
But when like if we're real girlfriends and we just like, girl, them trannies is over there, and I don't think anything of it.
Yeah,
but a lot of girls like really get sensitive about that. And it is a sensitive topic. It's like when white people would say nigger at first. It was a really big sensitive word, and it's still to this day is almost taboo. So I don't know. I guess it's the perception. But homosexual male and trans female love, I think I'm for it. I'm here. I support it. I've seen people that come together out of like rough patches and live really long, successful, loving relationships. Okay. Yes, there's gonna be some, you know what I'm saying, some issues with that. I mean, me personally, I would like to date a homosexual man, but his like masculinity has to like be in there. Like I can't date someone that they call cis. Like I just feel like I'm laying with myself. Like you know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
But it's like
so to you, suck it, sis. Doesn't sound good. No.
I had a situation. I dated a butch queen.
It's like no. And then chasers are. I'm done with that. I'm done with men that.
Let's put a pin in the chaser.
Yeah.
Right. Put a pin.
Y'all can talk about that.
No. Wait. Oh. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see if you want to jump in. But let's finish up talking about butch queen, femme queen love. I can tell all of the and hms and ha's. Okay. We'll talk about it. Like how are you feeling about butch queen?
I mean, I was dating a butch queen, but I realized that he wanted, at the end of the day, he wanted men. I was more like, there's some guys that are star fuckers. Meaning they will fuck you if you're someone who's known, just so they could feel like I had her, and then they could brag about it, like, oh yeah, that girl from there, that activist, that trans girl who sings, or that trans girl who votes, I fucked her. She sucked my dick.
Right.
Sis was sucking me up, you know?
I know that too.
So I've realized, like, I had to realize that some people are star fuckers. So it's not even about femme queen, butch queen. It's about the fact that you're someone and they want to feel, I guess, hop into that like status. Like that's how I see it.
Okay.
Social climbing, yeah. Because I remember this one, my last boyfriend who was a BQ. He watches Tea Time. It's so crazy. He always wanted to be on the show, and I'm like, Miss Thing, like, what is your agenda? Like, and then he was like, I'll make my own Tea Time. We're all butch queens, and I'm like, okay.
Good luck. Okay.
Hi Ashley, hi everyone. They're making this video to talk about trans women and our relationships with gay men, which I assume might mean the potential for romantic relationships, political relationships. I'm not sure, but I thought, I'll talk about everything, cover the whole gamut. And anyway, so I took some notes and I wrote down some things I miss about gay men. So that is cleanliness and hygiene, wit and intellect, and also their emotional vulnerability. I was living or presenting myself to the world as a gay man from the ages of probably around 14 until I began to socially transition beginning at the age of 28. And when that began, I had a period of time where I wasn't really open and out to everyone as a trans woman for a little while, just for some personal reasons. So I had a little period of time where I was still having sex with gay men, and yeah, hadn't really told everyone. So I had this period where I was saying goodbye to gay male social life, I guess, and it wasn't particularly sad. I did experience a lot of misogyny and, you know, just a lot of femphobia during that time in particular. Obviously that had occurred throughout my like adolescence and adulthood up until that point, but I just became super aware of it, and that it was, yeah, as I was beginning to medically transition, I didn't feel any sort of support or encouragement from the gay male community that I was part of at the time. However, yeah, I did really enjoy sexually how I didn't have to tell anyone how to, yeah, look after their bodies and clean themselves. I really do enjoy that. I also really enjoyed in the gay social and sexual spaces that I was in how engaged they were culturally, politically, artistically, and yeah, I do miss like their just really effervescent personalities and things. Yeah, so that's that. And emotional vulnerability as well. I think because I now go out with what we call in London geezers, you know. I go out with like big brutish men who are obsessed with the world knowing how masculine they are, and yeah, part of that is not being able to talk about their emotions and stuff, so I have to work a lot harder to find out what they're feeling, which I don't remember having to do with gay men as much. And things I don't miss about gay men, obviously I mentioned the femphobia and the misogyny, body shaming and stuff. Like the standard of beauty for gay men is so narrow, and I'm a full-figured lady now, and I don't have any problems finding men who appreciate, adore and love to smack that. So yeah, that's all cool. And I wrote down virulent racism. I think in gay male social space when I was growing up, I was really aware of just really disgusting things said, the objectification of black men, and BBCs, which we know what that stands for, and it's not the British Broadcasting Corporation. So I'm not saying that now that I've transitioned that there's absolutely no racism affairs. I still get objectified, but it's just not in the same kind of strict, disgusting ways. I think that sums it up. I do think that as we are becoming more queer identified, I think that's a broad thing that's happening, that people are placing themselves on a queer spectrum, and I think that there's much more fluidity and stuff, so the potential for us to have sexual relations irrespective of our identity markers is I think that's probably going to increase, but for me personally, I feel quite comfortable with myself sexually and what that means for me now. Moving forward, I'm really disappointed when there are things that happen in the media and there is a reaction from a number of gay men online that is just really upsetting, like with what has occurred this summer with Rima Washington and Cherry Balenciaga. You know, there's in the comment sections there is a real pattern of people saying, trans women want to get sex by men, and then you're out here exposing these men, and that's masculine behavior, and that's a man, and it's really random. I don't know. I just find it really bizarre that there's such an immediate reaction from certain men to blame us for the oppression that we face, when in actual fact what trans women are going through in terms of like the violence we face, that's because we're women. We're facing domestic violence from partners who know exactly what's going on and are killing us because we're women. That's just part of like it's part of like living in a patriarchal society. So I find that weird that we're always being blamed for our own oppression and stuff. And moving forward, I imagine that there will be more solidarity between gay men and trans women, I think, because of our gender non-conformity status. I'd phrase that better and think about that a bit more. But I think particularly you can see that in the drag community, you know, on RuPaul's Drag Race, the love and the intimacy that exists between the trans women on there and their gay male counterparts and stuff. There's a real comfort with their identities, and for the trans women, those that are burgeoning, you know, that's the space where I see them being valued and loved the most. So I think I have a lot of hope for the future and for the enduring solidarity between gay men and trans women from a queer perspective. So I'll leave it there.
Hey Chuti, New York, this is Jocelyn from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I wanted to chime in on the hoe phase topic, basically about getting validation from men and finding self-love. I did go through this phase within my early transitions. I wasn't on hormones. I wasn't the best convincing looking girl ever. Just a lot of things I was going through with my early transition. My voice isn't the greatest either now, but I don't care. I've learned to love myself. But I slept around with a lot of guys, and I wouldn't say a lot of guys, but I had my fair share, and a lot of that was just sort of seeking that validation from men. Am I a girl? Am I a woman? Am I, can I pull this off? And what really brought that down to was just me being alone in the end. Not getting that reassurance in the end. That reassurance feeling that we get from them is just so limited. We feel our oats, we feel like we're the cuntiest fish ever after getting some good dick, and then after that's over, it's just done. And then on to the next to make us feel that way. And it happens so many times with so many girls. I see so many girls go through this phase. And what we soon realize is that, and what I've learned within my, growing as an individual and growing as a woman in my female essence and everything in that, you just learn that I don't need their approval. I don't need their love. I love myself. And you start to learn and accept the flaws that you have. And, not every trans is perfect as the next girl. We may not have the right organs as the cis girl. We might not, ever get to the full transition. We might just, accept what we have. And that's what I've learned when it comes to my transition. It came to the point where it was just, what does Jocelyn have? What do I have now? I need to embrace it. I see so many girls complaining about the way they look, searching for love. And it's so sad because it's like, we're all in this journey together. And we're trying to, find love, find acceptance in life. I think that it's just a process that we all go through. Just love yourself. So I am me. I'm Jocelyn. I love myself. And I don't need no fucking man to tell me I'm beautiful, because I know I am.
I'm a little bit more cynical about what love looks like. Really.
Agreed.
So, I've read a lot, probably too many books about love. One that has been most helpful for me, if anybody wants to read it, it's a book called All About Love by Bell Hooks. And Bell Hooks is a fantastic writer about feminism and cultural critique. And one of the central tenets that she comes back to over and over again in that book and in others is that love cannot live where abuse happens. And I think that that's something to be debated, right? It's a theory that she puts forward. It's not, sort of hardline what it is, but to be honest, I'm one to that, and I think about that, and I know that our society breeds abuse, right? So it is extremely difficult for people to identify and correct ways in which they are abusive. That's real. Now, that's not to say that every man that I meet and that I date, no, because abuse shows up in a lot of different ways. And what I experience as being unacceptable behavior, if I don't do a good enough job of relating that in a way that is heard and understood and considered seriously, well, then I think about how resentment immediately begins to boil in me. And I think that is central to a lot of my problems in terms of love and dating and relationships is I'm very critical about whether or not you are taking my feelings into consideration. If I have done as much work as I have, and I've done a lot of work to be clear, concise, and communicative when I'm trying to tell you exactly what it is that I'm feeling and how you're impacting it. And if I do that, and it appears to me that you are not willing to at least try to mend, seriously, taking an effort to correct your behavior in a way that will yield something better for me, what happens very quickly for me is that I really rapidly begin to fall out of love with you, if I loved you at all.
Wrap it up.
Because I'm feeling like this person actually does not care about me nearly as much as I care about him.
Or nearly as much as you care about you.
Oh, well, okay. So, there it is. Thank you for putting that bow on that gift. Yeah, you don't care about me as much as I care about me.
Right.
And like if it's too out of balance, I don't know how we could possibly make it work.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Agreed.
So I feel like it could happen. I wouldn't say I've given up on love. Rather, I have a more sharp critique of
now we understand
love.
what we want. And yes, I love that.
Yeah. All right. Can I get some, or you're not having it?
Oh, I'm with it. As long as we're hopeful for love.
Okay. So thank you very much for tuning in to Tea Time NYC, and no, I'm gonna do it again. Okay, because I know. Okay. So from here. Okay. So boom. Ashley, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to try my hand at moderating. I really appreciate you. Okay, like me, you, all of y'all, anybody that wants to seriously think about how to push boundaries and trans people, particularly black trans women, to be able to have a bigger, better voice. I'm sorry, but like Ashley is doing the work. And if it's not exactly your cup of tea, well then I would encourage you to learn from her what you can and do better.
And to sip elsewhere.
Baby, okay. We love you. True Tea NYC. Thank y'all. Okay. Okay. All right.
Thank you for tuning in.
That's been inside of vagina, so watch that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay.